If you're looking for an easy one skillet supper, boy, do I have the recipe for you.
Do you break into a sweat with even the thought of having company? I'm here to help. After trying just a few of my hosting tips, you'll be more than ready to say, come on over.
This is a stuffed pepper skillet, and it has become a favorite in the Come On Over house. I took the liberty of already browning 1 pound of ground beef, and you're just gonna leave it like this. You just break it up as you're cooking. You're going to use those juices when you add a 1/4 cup of green onion, chopped green onion, which I always think makes a dish look wonderful. And here's the pepper part. I'm gonna show you, I did chop up 1 and probably a half green peppers. I diced it, I'm gonna throw it in, and I'm going to just saute this until it's gotten a little bit soft. And that's one of the reasons why you want to keep the ground beef juices in there, because you don't want it to get too dry. If you had a white onion or a yellow onion, that might add a little bit of liquid to it, but since we're using diced scallions, which are those really cool looking onions that are long and they have the white end and then the green end, the long green end. That's what we used here. And I wish you could smell this, y'all. It is heavenly. So simple ingredients. If you've ever liked stuffed peppers, where you take the green pepper, you hollow out the middle, and then you stuff it with ground beef, sometimes rice, well, usually rice actually, and other savory ingredients, and then you put it in the oven and let it bake. This is that without all of that work of hollowing out the pepper and then stuffing the pepper. Your beef is right here. You've chopped up the pepper instead. If someone did ask me recently if you had to use green pepper, I would say no, you don't have to, but I think it is a wonderful color, and that's the color pepper you usually do stuff. So, I don't know if you can hear this, but it is sizzling away.
Oh, the sizzle, Lord. So soothing.
It is really getting nice and soft. Now I'm just checking the recipe here to see if it just says saute until tender. I would say if you like a little bit of crunch to your pepper in a meal, you don't have to saute it very long. But if you like it to be softer, go ahead and saute until it's to the right doneness for you. After you've done that, you're gonna add in 3 cans of drained tomatoes. Now, we always like to add 1 fire roasted or jalapeno if you like a little kick. If you don't, or if you're serving children, just go ahead and use regular diced tomatoes. So I'm gonna add those in. You can see they are already cut up for you. You don't have to do that work at all. And that is going to add a little more liquid to your dish. Now I will say this, you wanna make sure you use the largest skillet you have, because this does make, let's see, 5 servings at least, and if you have little ones, probably more than 5. So we're gonna let that get nice and warm. Again, we haven't done really a whole lot of work here, other than we did have a can opening episode where my producer melted down because I had a regular can opener. Truth in cooking. So you can see that the cold tomatoes in here have cooled the dish down just a bit, but that's okay. They'll heat up. And does this look healthy or what? Okay, so we've added in the tomatoes. Now we're gonna add in, and I'm laughing because there's a whole thing online about how to say this, Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire, you know what it is.
One Worcestershire, one Worcestershire.
It's not very much, but it is salty and it has great flavor. We're only gonna put in about 2 teaspoons of this. So it's not a lot. Just gonna distribute it around. Don't you hate it on cooking shows when they just dump everything in the middle? I'm like, no, don't dump it all in the middle. Distribute. That's what I'm doing here. All right, got that going. And we're just gonna put it down. Let's give that a good stir. You can see some of the liquid in here from the tomatoes. Excellent. And then after this, we're going to add in what I think is the secret ingredient to this healthy recipe. Instead of rice, white rice, we're going to put in riced cauliflower. Now, you can rice your own cauliflower by getting a head of cauliflower. And in fact, this calls for 3 cups of riced cauliflower, and that would be probably around a pound and a half of a head of cauliflower. You can do all that work, or you can just buy it riced already for you in the frozen section and just let it thaw in the refrigerator, which is what I did. So you can see that this is all juiced up in here. It's very blended, and I'm just gonna add this in, this riced cauliflower. And let me tell you, you do not miss the actual rice in this dish. This riced cauliflower is actually a wonderful substitute if you're trying to cut down on your starch or you're just trying to add more vegetables to a dish. It has a similar consistency to white rice, but healthier and fewer calories. So we're gonna get that all mixed in. Looks pretty messy in this pan, I know, but it's gonna be messy good. Now at this point, we're down to heating it through and adding a little bit of salt and pepper.
Ladies and gentlemen, salt, and what's this? Pepper!
We like, in the Come On Over house, we like it to be a little saltier. So we go towards the high end of the salt. And this calls for 2 teaspoons of salt. So I use the half teaspoon because I just get it right out of the shaker. So half and a half. And let me tell you, tomatoes, ground beef, and cauliflower will suck up a lot of salt, so you can be generous. And then it calls for a half a teaspoon of pepper, just taking it right out of the pepper shaker. Why not? And we like our stuff to be a little peppery, so I'm being, I'm not being super careful with how much I'm putting in here. I'm trying to stick to the recipe as much as possible for you.
For me? For you?
And we're gonna stir that in. And at this point, this dish is basically cooked. So I'm gonna turn off the heat, and it actually tells you to take it off the heat. But for today, I'm just gonna show you that the last thing you do is take 8 ounces, which is a cup, of Monterey Jack shredded cheese. You put it over the top, and who doesn't love cheese, am I right? And we even talked about, do we need more than that? The answer is no. This is plenty of cheese. And what you do after that is you just let this cheese melt on the top, and you will have cheesy goodness in probably about 15 minutes or less. This is a no-fail recipe. I would serve this to anyone, but I would particularly serve it to people who like a simpler kind of recipe. So if you're looking for something this simple, let me highly recommend it, and we'll link the recipe down below. Enjoy.
Come on over. Now go make someone feel special today.